All right, guys, the CS2 economy and the whole kind of CS2 investing scene continues to be absolutely insane after Valve decided to shake things completely upside down with this new update. And today I want to talk about cases specifically because obviously cases have recently, over the past couple of years, have been a huge part of CS2 investing, and especially on this channel. They're my biggest personal investment. I'm sure a lot of your guys' biggest personal investments as well. But lately, it seems like over the past couple of days, case prices have been dropping a little bit. And I want to talk about what I think the future has in store for cases, why I think case prices are dropping, and why no matter what I'm going to continue to buy cases. And honestly, I'm a little bit excited if case prices start dropping a little bit. We're going to be talking about that and much more in this video today. Today's video is sponsored by Skins Monkey, an automated CS2 trading platform where you can turn your skins into new ones simple and easy. All you have to do is click on the skins that you want to get rid of, click on the skins that you want, and then click trade item. Now, if you don't have enough balance for the items you want, you can use code GERM to get up to $5 free bonus on your first trade. You can also use that same code GERM to get a 5% extra deposit bonus on top of the 30% deposit bonus that Skins Monkey is already offering. So there's really no reason to not go check out Skins Monkey with that first link in the description below today. So I just want to start off by saying that right now, depending on where you look, prices are going to be very, very different, and even price trends can be different. Because I see a lot of people saying, oh, case prices haven't dropped, case prices are actually at all-time highs, or oh, I see this case on Steam is up, and this case on Float is down, and this case on Buff is down, and this case on whatever skin bid is sideways, and all these other things. Like, the market is very, very uncertain right now. People don't really know what to think, and also people don't really know what to do, and certain markets were offline, certain markets are coming back online, certain markets have different, pools of money and pools of liquidity and all this different stuff. So prices are really all over the place right now. Prices were all over the place. Prices are all over the place. So you got to look at broad trends. You got to kind of look at different sites and see what things are going on. But yeah, stuff might be even on Steam, or stuff might be up on Steam but down on Buff or down on Float or whatever. So just because people are saying stuff is down and you think it's up or you think it's sideways, also these things are changing very, very fast. So by the time I'm recording this video, by the time you see it, things could be different as well. So don't be freaking out if everything doesn't line up perfectly to what you're seeing or what you think or whatever. Maybe we're just looking at different places. But for sure on July 17th, excuse me, I'm dying. For sure on July 17th, I even tweeted out this: case investors are in the mud. This is obviously a screenshot from Price Empire. Now, Price Empire has not been working for me all day today. I don't know how many people or how all these people are getting, screenshots of Price Empire and all this different stuff. I have not been able to get access to the site. I wish I could, because it's a great, resource to use during times like this, but whatever. He tweeted out a picture of, Operation Breakout being down 10% in the past 24 hours, Broken Fang being down 12%, which is crazy, Dreams and Nightmares being down 9%, Operation Phoenix, 8%, Spectrum 2, 8%, Gamma 2, 12%, Chroma 2, 7%, Prisma, one of my bigger investments, one of my favorite cases, being down 20% in the past 24 hours. Chroma 3 being down 17%. Now, again, on one hand, this sucks for me, and I'm sure many of you guys as well, because, hey, I have a large amount of cases. I own tens of thousands of cases. I have a pretty significant amount of money, both just actual money and like percentage of my net worth in thousands and thousands and thousands of cases. When I see my, case investments going down 9, 10, 15, 20% in a single day, that sucks. We're humans. We play the psychological game. We don't like seeing these things go down, but also at the same time, a light bulb pops up in my head, and I get excited because I want to buy the dip. I own so many cases and I have so much money in cases because I believe in them in the long term through any of the stupid stuff that's going on. Now, obviously, cases are a little bit up in the air right now, and we do know that this new update, this new trading rules, they do impact trading in the CS2 markets and CS2 economies in a lot of different ways. They impact sites, cash traders, businesses, all this different stuff, but they impact cases and case investing in a big way. One of those being the fact that it is now harder for people to buy and open cases in bulk. Obviously, previously, people could, buy as many cases as they wanted off third-party marketplaces as long as they had the money. They could open those cases instantly. They could just kind of keep doing that. Now, they can't do that anymore. When you buy stuff, you have to wait 7 days off third-party marketplaces or from peer-to-peer trading. You have to wait 7 days before you can even touch it, before you can even open it, which is absolutely stupid. That's ridiculous, whatever. But you can actually continue to buy cases off the Steam market and open them right away. Now, hey, it's not as easy to get Steam balance, and there's still limits to the amount of money you can put into Steam and buy stuff all at once. And stuff is going to be more expensive on the Steam community market as well, which is gonna, hinder people a little bit from, buying more and large amounts of things. So this could impact case unboxings because people aren't able to unbox them as much. And if there are less case unboxings going on, that is going to be worse for case investing, because part of why case investing is so good is because people are opening so many cases and they're not being dropped very fast. So supplies are going down very, very fast. If case unboxing numbers do drop, case prices will drop. So that's just kind of one thing. The other thing, it is much harder than before to do case investing because, again, Just like we have these new inventory limits and stuff like that. When you buy new stuff, it has to sit in your inventory and in your public inventory for 7 days. You cannot buy stuff then throw it straight into storage units, which means we can only buy if our inventory is absolutely wiped clean. If we have a 0 item inventory, we can only buy 1,000 items per week. Now, I don't know about you guys. My inventory is never wiped clean. My inventory never has 0 items in it, which means, hey, I might only be able to buy 800 or 700 or 600 or 500 items in a week or whatever. And that hurts for investing in bulk items in cheap like cases, because hey, there's some cases that are like 30, 40, 50 cents out there, and if I can only buy 500 of them in a week, it's going to be even harder for me to put a meaningful amount into them. So yeah, I don't know, a lot of case investors might be giving up, a lot of case investors might be wanting to sell off, a lot of case investors might be scared or confused, and case holders in general might just be wanting to sell. There's so many people that I've seen on Twitter and on Reddit and Discord and everything that are like, yeah, this whole update, I don't like this, I don't like what Valve's doing, I want to get out of the market. So people are selling off, and that's why we're seeing a lot of these things dip. But again, like I said, there are workarounds for these. There are things why cases can still be an amazing investment in the long term. One, what I've done is I've started creating alternate accounts, because I'm going to, use those alternate accounts to either, continue to cash trade and get above those 1,000 per week minimums or maximums. And I'm also going to use those alternate accounts to also store more cases on them, so I can potentially buy more cases than 1,000 per week. Because, like I said, something like the recoil case, say it's like 30 cents. If I buy 1,000 of those, that's only $300. And hey, for some people, $300 is a ton of money. It's their entire account size, whatever. But as my account size continues to grow and grow and grow, $300 is going to be less and less. It's going to mean less and less. It's going to move the needle for my account size and my percentages and stuff less and less and less. So I'm going to need to buy, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 cases in a single week for it to really even matter. So I'm going to need access to more than 1,000 things per week. And just having alternate accounts, I think, is a good idea for everybody out there. If you don't have alt accounts, you're going to want to keep them up and running. You need to maintain them. You need to make sure they have Steam Guard. You need to make sure they have an active purchase in the past year or whatever. You have to do those certain things to even have them available to be trading and using the market and all that stuff. So I am starting to get a little bit of wave of alternate accounts so I can actually continue to do stuff like this. So there are definitely workarounds. Also, as case investing becomes harder, it's actually going to become more rewarding to the people that do it, because the fewer case investors that there are out there, it's actually better for the fewer people who are continuing to invest in cases, because that means there's going to be fewer and fewer of us holding them. So, we're going to have more of the overall supply and be able to buy more of the overall supply, and we're going to get those greater returns in the long run. So, honestly, if some case investors get scared off and shaken off, I think that's great. And if those prices do drop, that's amazing. I'm going to be able to buy the dip. But yeah, right now it does seem like prices are dropping a little bit. I'm not panicking. I'm not selling. I have not sold a single one of my cases. I'm not going to. Actually, I continue to buy more cases even today. I know, people were like, oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep cashing out cases in bulk. It's going to be tough, or I'm not going to be able to do it or whatever. But guess what? I bought like 500 cases from a guy today. I spent like $1,000 on all these different cases. Got some breakouts, got some danger zones, got some recoils, got all different kinds of really, really awesome cases. And yeah, it sucks that they're going to have to sit there idle in my inventory for 7 days. I'm not going to be able to do anything with them, whatever. Like I said, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm getting my alt accounts ready to be able to do more and more stuff like this. I'm going to keep cash trading. I'm going to keep cashing people out in bulk. I'm going to keep buying bulk cases. I'm going to keep buying people's entire inventories. The show is going to go on. And yeah, I told this guy, hey, you send me these cases, I'll be able to pay out in 7 days once the trade reversal, period is up. And that's what we're going to do. That is, the plan. And there are, what I did notice, and the first reason that I actually noticed that cases have been going down, I haven't been tracking like all different kinds of case prices super closely, but I have been tracking the Snakebite case super closely, because I actually bought 8,000 of these a couple of weeks ago, so I have known where the Snakebite case is a lot in terms of price, and not too long ago it was 70 cents, so seeing it drop from 70 cents down to 64, again, there's a lot of people saying, oh, cases haven't dropped, you're exaggerating about the market dips. I know my video yesterday got some comments of being like, oh, the market isn't crashing, which like, yeah, the market lost 5% yesterday. That is an absolute crash. That's a one-day crash. And the Snakebite case, I know specifically, went from 70 cents down to 64 over the past couple of days. And that's a pretty big drop. That's almost 10%, it's like 8%, 9%, 7%, something like that drop in just a couple of days. But I do still think the Snakebite case will be okay. But it's hard to actually see a lot of historical data, because I don't know, CS Float is like having issues. It's not loading, whatever. So I don't really know about other cases, and I can't really look up, graphs of seeing how much different cases have dropped and all that stuff. But like I said, I know the Snakebite case has for sure dropped. And if we look up Snakebite on Steam, we can see that as well. Over the past couple of days, Snakebite was like as high as like 92 cents, 93 cents, somewhere in there. And now it's kind of fallen to 87 cents. Again, not the biggest drop in the world. It's not, Snakebite's not going to zero or anything like that. But also we'll see how this goes over the next couple of days and weeks and stuff like that. But we do have, excuse me, I just have like stuff stuck in my throat. I'm still a little bit sick as well. We do have Buff163 showing us some data. Here's the Snakebite case. For people who saying stuff hasn't dropped, Snakebite case listings were around 61, 62, 63 cents last couple of days. That has dropped all the way down to 49 cents. So Snakebite case actually having a pretty big drop on Buff163. Here we have the Clutch case listings were like as high as $1.03, now down to 93 cents. We have the CS20 case. I don't know if my head's covering this stuff up or not, but we have the CS20 case was like high as $1.50, now dropping down to $1.35, rebounding a little bit lately. We have the Prisma 2 case. This was as high as like $1.62, down to $1.46. We have Dreams and Nightmares case, which was as high as like $1.80, $1.81, down to $1.63. And we have the Recoil case as high as 33 cents, now down to 28. So I know people are saying, oh, cases are at all-time highs, cases aren't dropping, anything like that. Yeah, cases are dropping. They're not going to zero. It's not time to panic. It's not time to get out. It's not time to sell. Again, I still think they're an amazing investment. And whenever you can pick up an amazing investment for even cheaper prices for a discount for 5, 10, 15, 20% off, whatever, I think you should absolutely do it. That's what I'm going to be doing. Like I said, I just bought 1,000 cases yesterday. I'm in the process of trying to pick up more Snakebite cases. I still think Gallery and Fever case are an amazing investment. I think there's just so many opportunities out there. I wouldn't mind buying a ton of Recoil cases now. Prisma 1, Prisma 2, always going to be great. I just bought some Danger Zone, whatever. I'm trying to get my hand on any cases that I can, but there's just different ways we're going to have to do it now. Like I said, you're gonna have to use alternate accounts. You're gonna have to, be really careful with your inventory space, not getting that stuff locked up on stupid items or cheap items or stupid stuff or whatever. And you might have to, use different sites, use different people, work around it in different ways. You're gonna have to be smarter. It's gonna take longer. It's gonna be slower. But case investing is not dead. Cases are not dead. Everything's gonna be okay. But for right now, things are definitely dropping. Things are definitely cooling off. Cases seems like throughout all of 2025, they've just been rocket shipping straight up, higher. And finally, things seem like they're starting to cool off a little bit, starting to take a little bit of a dip. And they might dip more. Things might crash. Things might go down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% as people, are like, oh, I can't do CS2 case investing anymore, or CS2 case investing is dead, or it's stupid, or it's a waste of time, or, 1,000 items per week isn't even enough for me, or I don't want to waste all my item slots on a bunch of cases that are just going to be sitting in my account dead, whatever. I would totally understand. I would totally get it. But like I said, I'm buying this dip, and if things do dip again and dip, I'm buying the dip. I'm buying the dips dip. I'm buying the dips dip. If this thing does go down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%, that is totally fine with me. I will continue to buy because I'm not in this for the short term. I'm not looking to make quick flips. I'm not looking to sell, as soon as things are up 5, 10% or anything like that. I'm not looking to, get out if things start to drop. I'm looking to hold for 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now and make like a really significant, really meaningful amount of money. And I still think that is very, very possible with cases. But at least for right now, case investors are down in the mud. But as long as you have the right mindset, a dip can honestly be a great thing. And there are some reasons why cases are down, but also there's some reasons why there's a bright future ahead for case investors and case prices. And honestly, I know there's a lot of people who have wanted cheaper case prices so they can buy in, so they can open more cases just because cases are getting too expensive, whatever. Hey, dreams come true, wishes come true, whatever. So go out there and take advantage of it. Don't be sitting on your hands. Don't be waiting for, even more of a dip because we have no idea where the markets are going to go. I don't know if things are going to go up, down, sideways, diagonal, in between, whatever. Neither do you. Don't try to predict the unpredictable. Buy good stuff always. And we'll see what happens. Pretty much it was the video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.